Now today we have to discuss about another factor apart from the intelligence. It's the social class and the education attainment. What is the connection between the social class and education attainment? We have basically two perspectives on this. The first one is the Marxist and the other one is functionalist perspective. So both have their own perspective to relate the social class with the education attainment. First perspective we normally said this is the material factors. These are material factors, and other one we have two perspective on the social class. The first one is the material factors that is actually proposed by the Marxist, while other one are the have cultural explanation or the cultural factors. Cultural factor that is actually proposed by the, or you can say this is the functional perspective. Just remember the previous lecture you attend the day before yesterday. What we said that according to the functionalist perspective, cultural factors are the core factors behind the education attainment, and from the Marxist perspective, material factors are the core perspective behind the education attainment. So this is today's topic that we are going to discuss. First, we will discuss from the Marxist point of view that are the material factors. Traditional Marxist approach favor the materialistic explanation, and they said with the poverty and deprivation as the main sources of the different achievement. Poverty and deprivation are the main sources of different achievement in the education system or at the education level. If I talk about the deprivation, that's mean people who don't have these material factors, they are deprived people. So in shorter word, if I give you a terminology, we said it's a material deprivation. Material deprivation. Material deprivation, a cause of education underachievement. You can say this is a cause of educational underachievement. Educational underachievement. Material deprivation refers to the factors such as poverty, lack of physical resources, and up to so on, or whatever you can mention under the heading of the material deprivation. It could be poverty, or it could be the lack of physical resources, the resources that you can think. Let me explain all these things. Material deprivation combine combination of the factors that give working class students a disadvantage in the education system. Okay, there are multiple factors that become the reason of the disadvantages for the working class student. So what kind of these material deprivation we have? For example, poor diet, nutrition. These are the factors that basically resist working class student to focus on their education system or on their education. Nutrition. Okay. What could be other material deprivation we can add? The lack of private study facility. Lack of private study facility or resources. The home environment you can add in this heading as well. Okay, other things if we add the disease or the illness. Disease and the illness. Now, according to the Ramachandran, she's an Indian sociologist. She highlight few of the material deprivation factor from Indian perspective. Let me mention over there. Ramachandran. According to her, 50% of school, I'm just talking about the Indian perspective. So, according to her, 50% of schools have leaking roof and no water supply. 50% of schools have leaking schools, or you can say no water supply. No water supply. 35% have no blackboard or furniture in the school. 35% have no blackboard or furniture, and 90% have no functioning toilets. No functioning toilets. She further argued that malnutrition, hunger, and poor health remain a core problem, which basically affect the attendance and the performance of the student inside the school. Once you can see that if obviously there are the school, the 50% of schools have leaking uh, roof schools, no water supply, the 35% of no blackboard and all these stuff, what ultimately happened, it has basically, these are the reason which burdenize the students and ultimately specifically girls to drop out of the school. So because of these factors, you can say these material deprivations or material lack of material resources not only negatively impact the students' performance but are the reason of their underachievement. According to Douglas 1964, according to him, that material deprivation is too broad an explanation for all form of underachievement because some materially deprived children manage to succeed. Some materially deprived students manage to succeed. Whatever the condition, whatever the situation we have in the Ramachandran study, some materially deprived student manage to succeed. And according to him, that basically depends on schooling process. That basically depends on the schooling process. Now, what is the schooling process? Schooling process involve labeling, stereotyping, and low teacher student expectation. Low teacher student expectations. Expectation. These are the explanation that basically helps to promote more education statement for the working class students. And according to the Gasly, that basically supporting this argument, and according to them, I will explain this matter that what is the schooling process. Just wait for a moment. Gasly and Dhoni, 2005, they suggest that school can make a difference. School can make a difference. Level of working class achievement can be raised, but we have to change the expectation and the behavior of the teachers. We can raise working class students' achievement, but also change expectations and behavior of teachers. Behavior of teacher. Yeah, that we have to change the schooling process, or you can say the schooling experience of the student. If you have a very good experience in the school, obviously you can get more success, and this is how we can uh, raise the working class students achievement at the school.